What's going on, everybody? Get in here, grab a chair, sit down, hit that like button. It's in the Slime We Trust news. Now today's topic is NBA YoungBoy finally opens up about his sobriety. Now we're going to jump into it in about 5 seconds. Shout out to all the slimes in attendance. What's going on, G? Make sure everything's good on my side. Alright. Happy Thursday, everybody. How's everybody doing today? What's the good word? So like I said, today's topic is going to be NBA YoungBoy opening up about his sobriety. Now, what did I tell y'all? Now, we know NBA YoungBoy. What's going on, Sin? How you been? Long time no see. Now, like I was saying previously, we know NBA YoungBoy. He keeps a lot of things to himself. He don't do many interviews. So this is big, him coming out and saying something like this. But his last interview with Funny Marco, which I think was one of his realest interviews, one-on-one with somebody. He said a lot of things in that interview that, you know, were kind of crazy. Like he planned on staying in North Korea, where he was at the time of the interview with Funny Marco. He said he planned on staying out there. They asked him, when you coming back to the United States? He said, never. Now, I threw out the theory that possibly I could tell from his persona, how he was acting in the interview, that this man is sober, 100% sober. Didn't see no cups, didn't see no cigarettes, no blunts, nothing like that, like his usual interviews. His voice, very soft-spoken. But, like I said, for somebody to want to go to North Korea, and y'all can go watch my last video. If y'all watched the video, y'all know. Ain't nobody with all that money, best rapper in the world, gonna want to go lay low in North Korea. Unless you trying to stay sober. Why? Because you can't even smoke a joint out there. You stream out there and they got a problem. So they're very, very strict. But what he told Funny Marco was he likes the clean environment out there and he likes the people out there. And I threw out there, well, I'm pretty sure there's other places in this huge ass world where there's, you know, upper class people living, that they probably got some nice clean neighborhoods too. Do you really gotta go to North Korea? Now, other people threw out there that you can't get extradited when you're out in North Korea back to the United States. So I also said, allegedly, he raps and people say about having over 18 bodies. Could that be the reason why he moved to North Korea, not to get extradited back if shit hits the fan, like what's going on with Lil Durk right now and everybody? But that wasn't really my thoughts at first. I was just thinking that the man was just trying to stay focused, keep his head on the right track, and also stay sober. Because when you're not around that crowd, you're not around that people who got it, because I doubt anybody got freaking lean and the stuff he likes in freaking North Korea. then you're gonna be more successful at being sober or getting sober. Am I right or wrong, chat? Appointment was good, went quick. So let's see what NBA YoungBoy had announced. Good thing I got it over with, So NBA YoungBoy, it's funny, they put a little picture of this man, balled up. Took one of his pictures of him balled up, which withdrawals ain't no joke, but it says NBA YoungBoy reveals he's trying to make it half a year sober. I could tell this man has never been sober his whole life. He's trying to make it 6 months sober. What was this Funny Marco interview about a month ago? I could read it right on him. I told y'all something strange was going on for this man to be doing an interview in North Korea. You just got off the bracelet, brother. You've been locked up in your house in the nowhere in Utah for the last couple years. Somebody get off the bracelet, they gonna want to go Miami Beach, something, Bahamas, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. No, he want to go to North Korea. A lot of people in my chat said that they don't believe that's going to last too long. We'll see. What's going on, Delores? How you doing? That could also be it. He's trying to preserve his life. NBA YoungBoy has a lot of people that are after him. Allegedly, especially with all this little dirt stuff trending right now and him going to trial and all that. Then there's rumors, I'm not saying this is true, but it's rumors that he has double digits over 18 hats, if y'all know what that means. So I thought of that could be a reason to go to North Korea, because you definitely ain't going to bump into nobody you know really in North Korea. But I said it's just a very odd place to pick out of everywhere in the world. But one thing I do know is they very strict on their drug laws. They strict on streaming, but he don't give a shit about that. I don't even think he has an Instagram. He just deleted his Instagram. He don't be doing too much of that shit. So he's either trying to stay out the way and maybe cover some of his tracks, start fresh. But then this released also a couple weeks after. So it also says that, YoungBoy says this out of his own mouth, I wanted to get high last night. I just flushed the shit down the toilet. I'm trying to see if I really can make it to 6 months. Now think of the position that this man is. If you gotta struggle just to make it to 6 months, you in deep, my boy. You know what I'm saying? And the tweet gets me too a little bit. I second question it because, first of all, not to say that he's lying or anything, I never seen an addict get something in their hand and then decide that they're not going to use it. Flush it down the toilet. Usually once you get that shit in your hand, you're going to convince yourself this going to be the last time. But everybody's different, so I can't say that's what he did or not. But also, if you still in North Korea, which you was because you did that interview at, and you said you're staying out there, where did you even get this stuff at in North Korea? That was one of my points of being out in North Korea. This the Funny Marco interview up there. Is that it's going to be very hard to come by. Very hard to get. Exactly, Del Roz. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. I'll say D. One of my day ones, day twos, I remember. But you're absolutely right. That's what I'm saying. Does he have this stuff on standby? Obviously, probably not, because to fly to North Korea, like I said, they're super strict. They probably asked him to spread his cheeks open to get on that plane. You know what I'm saying? You can't even bring a little flower on there. And I doubt he's talking about flour, but it's just crazy. We talking about with my buddies how this guy had a heavy addiction also. That alleged lean stuff, them benzos, that's one of the worst stuff to come off. And then recently the man was locked up because he was calling the pharmacy and acting like he was the doctor and straight grabbing, allegedly, we on YouTube, whatever he wanted to get. Which you could only imagine, the most strongest type of lean, allegedly, the highest milligram of the benzos. Like when I came off one of the smallest milligrams of benzos, I had seizures from that. From a few weeks. That stuff's no joke. It's worse than alcohol. Benzos and alcohol are the two worst things to withdraw from. They can actually kill you if you go cold turkey. They recommend you to go to a hospital and detox from that stuff. Everything else, I believe you could do cold turkey. Exactly. For him to even have it in his hand, that's not a good thing. But if he had the power to flush it in the toilet, then that's good willpower. But what are you even doing with the thing in your hand? Like, who knows what his his story was. But what I was just trying to say is I seen the Funny Marco interview. I called it out. I could see in his face how depressed he was. You know what I mean? Let me put up some pictures. Obviously, he's not self-medicating anymore because sometimes those people with PTSD, depression, we gotta self-medicate and stuff. So you could tell he's not self-medicating anymore, really. He's depressed the whole interview. Why you depressed for? You the #1 rapper in the world, brother. Your tour, Make America Slime Again, was one of the most successful tours. And you made bank off that. You know what I'm saying? You do crazy streaming numbers when you drop a video on YouTube. It's crazy, y'all. But that's what them drugs do to you. They mask your flaws. They bring out the flaws in you. Your insecurities. What's going on, band? So just him being, like I said, I could read him. In that interview, he didn't have his double cup like he used to. He wasn't smoking on his nicotine. He didn't have a joint on him. He was speaking very soft to Funny Marco. He still stood on his 10 toes, you know what I mean, and pressed Marco at one point. But I could just tell from his aura. And then he's in North Korea. Like, what are you doing in North Korea, brother? That's a place like you trying to go, like I was thinking, to get sober and change your life around. Or you trying to duck the feds, which somebody left in my comments, and I thought of, I didn't know they can't get you out there. But yes, that interview was very, like I said earlier, NBA YoungBoy don't do a lot of interviews. And for that interview he did do with Funny Marco, very intense and serious interview. Like he talked about how he is currently staying in North Korea. He said a lot of big things in that interview. How he's never coming back to the United States. How the doctor literally, he said, told him that the left side of his heart is bigger than the other side. That he's only gonna put out one more album before he retires. So I also thought, with that being said, is his health at a problem also? Is that what made him quit these drugs? Because let's say allegedly we on YouTube, drugs like lean can mess up your organs, make your organs fail, stuff like that. Now if he's having problems with his heart, allegedly it could be from that. That could be why he's quitting. You know what I'm saying? It all maths up. I know I'm not gonna keep putting drugs in my body if the doctor's telling me, I got a problem with my heart and it's pretty serious. And he told Funny Marco on it too, which you know what I mean? That's crazy because Funny Marco his name's Funny Marco. He's a funny internet personality. That interview was so serious. That man didn't attempt to crack one joke that whole interview. He ain't say one thing funny that whole interview. That's how serious YoungBoy was. And then I'm like, something else. Like he's man serious like that. He's sober. That's why. But 6 months and you still struggling? That's crazy too, though. That's a heavy withdrawal. I don't think it went that long. Like after, everybody's different, I guess. But 6 months, I think, should be a long enough time to get over the body pains, the aches. Which, if you've ever been through that, then you would be like, okay, I don't want to go back to that point I was at. Now I made it through this. I'm good. But who knows? They say relapse is normal in recovery, you know? But yeah, crazy, yo. Exactly. Now, at first, I would say maybe he's prescribed benzos. You could get it for PTSD, trauma. Freaking, you go to jail and go into the hole. They'll give it to you. You know what I mean? If you go to jail and you've been in solitary, that shit messes with your mind. But I thought maybe he was prescribed those. But who knows? Like I said, allegedly, when he got arrested last time, he was literally ordering 2 milligrams Xanaxes, allegedly, and, the syrup from the pharmacy. And he got caught doing so. Now, when I see something like that, where I'm from, a lot of addicts, a lot of hustlers, that tells me you in deep. Nah, I'm not a blood. Yeah, federal too. You ain't no bounty hunter. Where you from? How you been, though, Dolores? Long time no see. Did I say it right this time? Hey, what's going on, PC? Alright, shout out to D. Shout out Detroit. Also, guys, we got the alerts on. I should be monetized in about a week or so for the super chats, the memberships. But right now, I believe y'all could tip. I'm going to have one of the mods pin the tip link in the comments. Y'all should be able to tip. And what else? Subscribe. So do me a favor, y'all. Hit that like button and subscribe. So anybody that subscribes or tip, them alerts should pop up on the screen now. I'm actually trying a vertical stream. How you doing today, PC? I just came from one of my appointments. We just talking about this YoungBoy tweet. I need to give you your ranch, Dolores, as well. TSWMG. So I know this YoungBoy just made this tweet. He's struggling to stay sober. Now, PC, did I not say that in that Funny Marco video? what the heck is this man doing in North Korea? And to me, it looks like he's sober, and he might possibly trying to stay sober being in North Korea, where you can't even smoke a freaking joint. You know what I'm saying? Did I not say that? And now he's coming out saying he had drugs in his hand, but he's trying to make it to 6 months sober, so he flushed it down the toilet. Now, I'm thinking, how the hell did you get to the point where it's even in your hand when you in North Korea? I thought the whole point of being in North Korea is there's absolutely nothing out there. Like, you bring a sack of flour on the plane, leaves, you're gonna get 5 years or something. You know what I'm saying? People are scared. Never mind the harder stuff. But, you know, I thought that was the whole point of going out there. But another thing I said, I don't know many addicts that's going to go as far as to go get the stuff, have it in their hand, and then say, flush it down the toilet. Usually once you get it, you got it, yeah, this going to be the last time now. But like I was saying earlier, I can't say that about everybody. I guess everybody's different. Me personally, I don't know if I'd do that. South Korea. And we all was gonna make a poll that said, how long do you think this is gonna last for? Mostly everybody said not long, that he was gonna stay in North Korea. Cause he said in the Funny Marco interview, he's staying there forever. He also said, like I said, that interview, a lot was said, that he's dropping one more album. Now, this man has 34 albums out already. I believe he drops albums like this. Why all of a sudden you stopping making music now? I believe a health issue, too, he could be going through. Because he even says in the next segment, Funny Marco, how his doctor said his heart is getting too big. I'm taking a shot of Coca-Cola. Exactly, D. But then he also goes and says, like I just said, he's retiring from rap. He's only 26 years old. Another thing a lot of people in the chat said, 10 kids in the United States. Not like he got 1 kid, 0 kids. 10 kids in the USA, and you going to North Korea? But he made sure he touched that up in the interview and said, hey, it's only a plane to see my kids, a plane ride. That's a hella long plane ride. About what, 12 plus hours probably? And then going to a place like that, they probably strict every time. Exactly, that's another thing too. He's not signed to nobody. He's done with all his contracts. That's what I said. My main thought is that I'm under the impression is he already put out about 30 something albums. He's 26. He wants to, sit back and reap what he sowed. You know what I mean? All the fruit, he planted. It's time for him to sit back and enjoy that stuff. Especially, and this is the most important part, when the doctor's telling him that there's problems going on with his heart. So God bless that man. Yep, a lot of people said he's running from something. One thing I noticed that whole interview, that man ain't cracked a smile. And he didn't admit to being sober yet, but it was something I noticed and I threw out there. And I said, what are you going through that you cannot crack a smile? One of the richest, best rappers out right now. They're gonna say YoungBoy. Like I said, your health will probably make you want to do that, right? If the doctor told you something about your health and only you knew how serious that was, that would make you want to do a 360 turn. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So what's crazy is, I'm going to be blunt, and this is YouTube. Now, Trap Lord Ross and even YoungBoy, Trap says, YoungBoy says this on his own songs. How is this man is responsible for unaliving over 18 people? Now, Trap Lord Ross put out a documentary and a video where he names every single person, which is bizarre. Y'all can go watch that documentary. So allegedly he was involved, allegedly, from the documentary, 18 people being unalived. You don't think calm is coming for you? King Von, allegedly one of them. Now, Trap Lord, allegedly, this don't mean by his own hands. It could be a bag on the head, a command. You know what I'm saying? And now this is why King Von, Pooh Shiesty, a lot of real people say YoungBoy caps in his raps. Because if you listen to YoungBoy and you know what he's saying, this is the stuff he's talking about. To the point that a UK person, Trap Lord Ross, was able to go back and listen to your music and name all 18 people. How the hell did a man from the United Kingdom know that? You yapping too much on that music. You know what I'm saying? Way too much. Y'all know what I'm saying? King Von had 10. And that's why King Von was very adamant about him having 10. And he's, you know what I mean? And that's why he said NBA YoungBoy caps in his raps shortly before YoungBoy passed away. I mean, not YoungBoy, sorry. Shortly before Von passed away, he said that to YoungBoy. Because at the time, King Von was one of the only ones really, you know, saying they number out there like that. And good thing, and not good thing, but King Von would have been arrested if he wasn't unalived, to be honest. And even the police say this. Crazy. So he probably looking at not a lot of people, you know, going down that route. It's either freaking unalived or in jail like Dirk. Free Dirk. And a lot of shit's going on right now, too. Y'all guys made me think with this Jay Prince situation. Because Charleston White's throwing all that heat on him and stuff. Literally saying he's calling the feds and saying stuff. And then Jay Prince was involved with YoungBoy's people, who was Ben 10, who's paralyzed right now on his legs, can't walk on his two legs, allegedly. Because I believe Jay Prince allegedly told somebody to go get his chain. And that's what ended up happening. So I know the feds got a good whiff of that. It's all over the internet. I know they allegedly probably hear Jay Prince's name over and over again for tons of different shit. Same thing with YoungBoy and his whole camp. Then you got NBA 10 tweeting a whole lot of dumb shit. You know what I mean? Trying to get his ego and his pride back. Exactly. He was supposed to get self-defense, but they charging him with a crime because you go and tweet about it. You came back. I guess Prince allegedly told somebody, go take his chain because he didn't like NBA YoungBoy allegedly and his people. I showed that video back then where the people took the umbrella out of his Rolls Royce. Jay Prince got it back and called YoungBoy. YoungBoy said, F you, keep it. But anyways, Jay Prince told one of the goons to go to Ben 10, take his chain. Ben 10 tried to defend himself, pulled out a weapon. Pop, pop. I guess they shot back in self-defense. Ben 10, paralyzed. Crazy. Now, instead of this man protecting himself, no, he comes back, to finish the job. It's crazy. Exactly, baby. He's wising up now, right? 26 years old. And another thing I also think of when I think of North Korea, South Korea, whatever the hell it is. Bro, I heard you the first time. Relax. You at a greater risk of getting in trouble being in a place where they won't even let you freaking spit on the floor? Where you get in trouble for littering. You know what I mean? You think you violate your probation more quicker like that. Well, I don't know how it works out there. If they're going to still charge you for your consecutive crimes you did prior. Or if you start fresh. I don't know. But I definitely wouldn't be going to no Korea. That's for sure. Especially as wild as YoungBoy is. Likes to fight. Likes to do all that shit. He needs to go to freaking Chicago or something. Well, he don't want to do that. Go Dragonfly, what's going on, hon? What's up, Together We Break Chains? I see you. Shout out to all my slimes in attendance, right? Hey, Dragonfly, you was in my life. Was I not saying, damn, YoungBoy ain't smiled this whole video? Funny Marco, name's Funny Marco. He ain't attempt to crack one joke. This man's 100% completely sober. He ain't got no cups like he usually does. He ain't puffing on his cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Did I not say that? Then he chooses North Korea instead of Miami Beach. Maybe a higher class place in Florida. Because he says the environment's nice. Now he's making a tweet talking about he's attempting to be 6 months sober, which sounds like to me his whole stint in North Korea, his whole little time there, is probably when he started getting sober. So I think I hit it on the nail from that Funny Marco interview that this man was in the middle of, sobering up. That's probably why he's in North Korea, because of that. And possibly he may be trying to sober up because he's having personal health problems, like he said in the interview with his heart. Now, that's the message I took from the whole interview, especially after him putting this message out now, saying he's struggling to stay sober. It's been for 6 months now. Sounds like, to me, that's right around when he got the news from the doctor about his heart being too big. Now, the stuff he was on, remember, it messes your organs. I believe a heart's the organ, right? But, yeah. I sure did, right? So that's why I was like, we got to talk about this. So he says he had it in his hand, Dragonfly, and threw it down in the toilet. Now, I'm thinking to my boys, I'm like, first of all, he's in North Korea. The whole point of that was to stay away from the shit. How'd you get it in your hands in North Korea? And I never seen an addict with it in his hands and decide not to make the money off it at least. Or do it and say this the last time ever. We talking about an addict with it in its hand and flush it down the toilet. Never seen that before. Your willpower's that strong, you wouldn't even have grabbed it. You know what I'm saying? If your willpower's that strong to flush it down the toilet when it's in your hand, you wouldn't even have called and grabbed it and went through all that bullshit. That makes sense? But, so I'm questioning that message. He could just be trying to tell us he's trying to get sober. You know what I mean? Without trying to tell us he's trying to get sober. You know what I'm saying? Like we all assumed from the interview. What I say, he's too soft-spoken in that interview. YoungBoy, raspy, usually, yelling a little bit. Your boy was too soft-spoken. He did stand on his 10 toes, though. He pressed Funny Marco for some bullshit he did. But he was soft-spoken. The real YB interviews, he got that double white cup. He got a cigarette, a Newport 500 in his mouth. Your boy's growing up. He's going sober. Your boy's manning up. He's becoming a man, and he's trying to get sober. That's all that is. I got sober at the same age, y'all. I'm 34 now. I ain't get sober till about maybe 24, 25. That's probably when your brain, right around when your brain has that shift. Y'all know what I'm saying? Or it also could be, too, like I said, if it was to the point where he brought it up in the interview that the doctor mentioned his heart and his health problems, then it could be something, might be bad with his health, right? Because like I said, YoungBoy allegedly is not like Ray J, I believe, who would just say that so he can get a headline. If you notice, everything YoungBoy has said in that interview has been 100% true. You know what I'm saying? Every single thing. And that can also be from years of drug abuse, that his heart is having problems also. Right or wrong together. Like, mind you, I don't keep bringing this up, but this man's last arrest was for acting like a doctor and calling the pharmacy, allegedly. We can only imagine what he was getting his hands on. The best of the best. And that to me, like I said, where I'm from, that tells me you went deep. I didn't even get that far. I wouldn't have did that. Too much risk. Make that call, walk into that freaking pharmacy, and it's federal. Hell no, too much risk. But it worked for him for a little bit. I'm not promoting it. I don't advise nobody. The man did time for it. Had to say he was an addict. He wasn't selling it, so. But like I was saying previously together, alcohol and benzos are the two worst drugs to withdraw from in the world. I don't believe he does too much alcohol, but I see he's on the benzos, the Xannies. Now, I allegedly had seizures off them things before from just a couple days. Yes, he said his heart. Exactly, D. You watching? He said he said that not only did he say he's having heart problems, that his heart one side's bigger than the other, but he also said in the interview that his heart is hurting. You are right. And I didn't take it. I didn't think of it like that. Like, oh shit, he's really having heart pains? I was thinking it as like somebody hurt him or something. That's a very good notice. Very good thing you noticed. I just wrenched you up right now, by the way. So if he's also telling us, his fans, his audience, and Funny Marco, he's having heart pains, it might be a little more serious than we think, chat. And then that might also be a reason to flush them things down the toilet. You might second think yourself then if I got 6 months to live if I take this. You know what I'm saying? Yes, but when the doctor is telling you that one side of your heart is bigger than the other and you having heart pain, you gotta put 1 plus 1 together, brother. And I don't know how normal it is because I don't think it's normal. Hot burn when you eat food that's greasy and stuff is normal, but you shouldn't be having pains in your heart, brother. Exactly. You can even see, compared to his last interview, where Wallow, whoever you want to pick, academics, like, you know, his body frame, how the drugs affected his body. Before he got locked up, he was real underweight. He came out, he put a couple pounds on, and now he's back to like what he was before. Now, when you paid like that, it's crazy. I don't know how to say because I never been in that situation, but you would think you can Uber eat anything you want to eat. You can freaking, they got IVs they give these athletes, these celebrities where, you know, it's nothing but vitamins and stuff that have you 100% the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot, you can go get some dabs. Now, vice versa, somebody that just gotta lay in the bed and just stare at the ceiling and get over it. It's crazy, y'all. But whatever he's going through, God bless him. You know what I mean? He don't come do interviews a lot. You know, he don't come to the media a lot. So if he's saying this, it must be serious. Crazy, yo. He don't got no Instagram, really, no Twitter, so you can't really see like him out in North Korea or nothing really. I don't know how healthy that is. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream too, y'all. That's pretty much all I wanted to put out there. Thank y'all for the support. Did Botrick spit out the link yet? Yeah, it did. I just didn't pin it. Oh, I can pin stuff. Hold on. There we go. No problem, D. I knew you for a long time now. I was looking for my tip link. I don't know if that's the right one, but we should be monetized in a week or so. Hey, Sin, what's going on, hon? I'm at my computer right now. Alright, bye, ladies. Peace out, slimes. Tune in to the next live. I got a couple more in store for y'all. Yeah, this is the new background. We get alerts. Oh, Sin, you don't got a wrench yet, too? I meant to give you one also. Another day one. Shout out all my day ones, my day twos, and my day threes. 1 second, let me mod you up, Sin. Wow. Maybe I should have tried the YouTube app. We streaming on Prism right now. We get alerts. We're gonna be monetized in a couple days, gang. We can only get subs right now and tips. So before I leave, hit that like button, guys. And make sure you hit that sub button if you ain't subbed up yet. The subs work weird now. A lot of people be private. So if you're private, it won't show. Your profile gotta be 100% public. Show you what it is. This is all set up on the horizontal chat anyways. I just wanted to mess around with a vertical stream. Yeah. Got some alerts for the future. I'm just testing if I like YouTube or like a third-party app. YouTube, you can't really have alerts. Yeah, it is dope like that, right? And I didn't even show you guys the gifts yet, the jewels, the tips. There's so many different things too. Somebody becomes a member. It definitely keeps the chat more like engaging and exciting, especially when you got like a full chat and stuff, and and all your features it's turned on, so everybody's like sending super chats and subbing. And because on the YouTube vertical you don't get alerts, right? I think if you have a bot, he might say this person subbed, this person donated. But yeah, YouTube, a lot of big changes since, when my last was streaming every day a couple years ago. There's been a lot of big changes to the game. But anyways, I just wanted to drop this vertical video, see how it does. NBA YoungBoy opens up on his sobriety. Y'all tune in for the next video. I'm out of here, y'all. I'm gonna go make something to eat and relax for a little bit. Just a little bit. Hit that comfy couch. Peace out, slimes. Thank y'all for the support. I appreciate it. Hit that like, sub. See y'all on the next one.